Last week I lacerated a number of multinational corporations for behaving in the realm of cheating, stealing, and lying. I covered a number of sectors, beginning with the digital universe, Google and Facebook and Twitter and Microsoft, and moving to a number of other sectors, the banking sector, the automotive sector, the pharmaceutical sector, the mining sector, showing that whether it was invasions of privacy on the one hand or environmental degradation on the other, or the depredations, both human and financial, of resource extraction, it all taken together amounted to a kind of conglomerate of corporate irresponsibility. And then we said that we would this week try to find some solutions to this kind of behavior. Well, we do have solutions, and they're four in number. First, don't fall prey to the siren song of corporate social responsibility. Corporations exist to make a profit. Their shareholders want a profit. In any tug of war between profit and social responsibility, profit wins overwhelmingly. Second, and equally important, regulate the hell out of these multinational corporations, right down to their operational activities. You know, when a government bails out one of the multinationals, as governments have bailed out Ford and Chrysler and GM, in return for the money which is given to the company, the government requires control, regulatory control over much of the operational activity. That brings some sensibility to the corporation. Number three, don't engage in picayune fines like $5 billion for Facebook in the United States. If you want to apply a fine of $50 billion or $100 billion, that may bring the corporation to its senses. Anything less will not. And finally, apply criminal indictments. There's nothing better than taking white-collar criminals, senior executives, into jail as a way of sobering the corporation about what it's doing. Now, is all of this simply a fantastical mirage on my part? I think not. I think we're on the verge of something major. And why? Because of something called climate change. All over the world, governments and organizations and individuals are finding ways to sue oil and gas companies for the consequences of the discharge of carbon into the atmosphere and thereby global warming. Even in the city of Toronto, my city, there is a discussion now at the city council level of whether or not we can sue oil and gas companies for the consequences of climate change in destruction of aspects of Toronto. In Ontario, Canada, in Montreal and Ottawa and Northern Ontario, there has been so much flooding in the last 2 weeks that thousands of people have been displaced, and suddenly the oil and gas companies become a target for compensation. And of course, in the United Kingdom, they've just declared climate change a national emergency. So you see, we're in the midst of an extraordinary change, and if all of these things are applied to the oil and gas industries, they will nationally and naturally move into the other sectors. You know, this societal revolution may actually result in a new dawn. That was last week. I'm Stephen Lewis.